All right, so the Ravens are bringing in Justin Houston for a visit this Tuesday. And look, there's a need for edge rusher on this team. We recognize that. So let's break down what kind of player we could possibly be signing in Justin Houston.
Yeah, so Justin Houston, everybody remembers, I think it was 2015. He had 22 and a half sacks. He's one of the best edge rushers in the league. He's not that guy anymore, but he went to Indianapolis. He had 11 sacks a couple years ago, 8 sacks this year. So, he was giving him some production there. The thing with Justin Houston's numbers is, if you look at his stats, they're kind of going down across the board as he ages. He's losing some of his athleticism. But he's still a technically sound player, but he just doesn't have the burst that made him special earlier in his career.
Sure. So the question is, will he help our team? And yeah, sure. But how much will he help our team? I will argue not that much. All right. Very little. And that's not to say that he can't come in and have a solid year, but in the grand scheme of things, what is his 8 sacks, if he gets 8 sacks, going to do for us?
Right.
Not a whole lot.
And really, it's a kind of a toss-up whether you're even going to get that level of production. He's not a consistent pass rusher at this point in his career. He still flashes from time to time, and he's playing against next to the world record DeForest Buckner, crushing the middle of the interior of pockets. So that makes things a little bit easier for him. But yeah, he's not consistently getting to the quarterback. So I wouldn't really expect too much. Like I mentioned before, his numbers are going down across the board. Now, he was in the top 10 of ESPN's pass rush win rate, which is a positive. But if you look at, on the other side of that, he had the lowest grade, overall PFF grade in his career. I mean, he just went off a cliff, and they had him rated as the 6th best or 6th most productive pass rusher in Indianapolis, not in the league, but just on the Colts. So again, I think he's a guy who should not be in a starting role. He played nearly almost 60% of the snaps in Indianapolis. I think that's way too much. He's not going to offer much against the run, and he's not going to give you consistent pass rushing at all at this point in his career. So he needs to be a situational guy if they even bring him in.
Yeah. Okay. So, let's point out the fact that it may not be, nothing may come of this. Let's just say that. Nothing may come of this. He's just coming in for a visit. And the word is that the Ravens aren't planning on signing anybody until after the draft. So he may not even be here. I mean, okay, we don't want to disrupt our comp formula, whatever. That's how you lose out on players. If you really want Justin Houston, then sign him, right? That comp pick isn't worth keeping if you think he can help our team. So now we're looking at it like this. If you think he's a big impact, he can be a big impact on the team, then you sign him. Otherwise, you're saying, no, the comp pick is going to make a bigger impact than Justin Houston. In which case, you don't think Justin Houston's going to make that big of an impact. Because if he's that good of a player, all right, after the draft, there'll be other teams looking to sign him as well. So it's not a lock that we get him.
Well, I think there's going to be other teams looking to sign him now. The Colts have indicated that they're interested in bringing him back. Obviously, it hasn't happened yet, but I mean, and Baltimore's just the first visit he's taking. I'm sure he's going to be taking some other visits next week.
Right.
So waiting until after the draft would kind of mean that you're fine with losing out on him.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah, I don't think he makes a big enough impact to sign him at all because, look, AB is still out there, and this is still hashtag defund the defense over here. You haven't fixed the offense. You haven't. Right. There's a wide receiver out there that can make a big impact on this offense. Right. What's that guy's name? Ryan Mink. I saw him tweeting out something about, why sign another veteran? AB's not just another veteran. He's one of the best wide receivers in the league. So let's not downplay that. He will make a huge impact on our offense, and he will help us put up points. Right?
Yeah.
Justin Houston, even if he comes in here and gives us 15 sacks, that doesn't help us scoring on offense.
And just in general, I'm pretty over the Ravens' whole deal of just let's slap a over the hill band-aid on whatever the problem is for as cheap as we possibly can.
I agree.
Man, at some point you have to open up your wallet and go and sign somebody who is going to make a difference.
Yeah. I mean, Hassan Reddick, he could have come in here. What would he get? $8 million a year?
He got $8 million for 1 year. I mean, granted, he probably would have cost more coming to Baltimore because that's his boy down there in Carolina and Matt Rule. But
Yeah.
if you're looking to fix edge rusher, Justin Houston isn't going to do it. so whatever you sign him for is a waste. And it could have just gone to Hassan Reddick.
Yeah. Yeah, in terms of pass rush, look, we blitz. That's what we do. So really, it doesn't matter who we get. We could get Khalil Mack in here. We're not going to stop blitzing. That's what we're going to keep doing that, and it's fine. It works. All right. There's nothing wrong with the defense. All right. I had to keep reiterating this. There's nothing wrong with the defense. Yeah, it hurts a little bit to lose Judon and Yannick at the same time, for sure. Mm-hmm. But on that side of the ball is where you should be saying you can draft guys and develop them. You can get guys and plug them in there. Look, Tyus Bowser is coming back. Pernell McPhee is coming back. Look, we have Jalen Ferguson. You guys say what you want about Jalen Ferguson. He's a 3rd-round pick, right? We always say this on the offense when it comes to these wide receivers not performing. Hey, just give them a bit more of an opportunity. Hey, they just got to get a little bit better. Hey, they just got to coach him up. Well, coach up Jalen Ferguson. He's got experience.
And Calais Campbell's coming back and Derek Wolf's coming back, which, it leads me to another point. Everybody's so concerned about these precious comp picks as if the Ravens are like hitting home runs with all these draft picks. Yeah. If that were the case, you wouldn't be so worried about losing guys like LJ Fort and Derek Wolf.
Yeah.
Like if these comp picks mattered and they were getting contributors, those guys would be gone.
Yeah.
But they're not.
All right, so I would say leave us your thoughts. I'm pretty sure you guys are going to let us know how you feel in the comments. Look, we're not trying to sound like we're down on every move that the Ravens make, but we are serious when we say hashtag defund the defense. Stop putting all these resources into the defense. Getting Sammy Watkins isn't fixing the offense, all right? Yeah. Getting Kevin Zeitler isn't fixing the offense. That's doing the bare minimum. You got guys that didn't affect the comp pick formula and didn't cost that much. You're going cheap. Right player, right price. My counter to that is you get what you pay for. Okay, you're not going for the top guys. You're not trying to pay for the top guys. You're trying to get guys that are cheap, right? Mm-hmm. Sammy Watkins. I hope he can turn it around, and I think a part of me does think if he stays healthy, there's potential there. He's still young, but that's not why they got him. They got him because he was the last player available that will take the cheapest deal.
Right. And I do think that Watkins actually does affect the comp pick. I think his contract was up in Kansas City. But more to the point is just, like you said, he was not their first choice. He wasn't their second choice. I don't think he was even their 3rd choice.
No.
Yeah. But, to bring it back to Justin Houston, if that's the route that you want to go, you want to sign Justin Houston and bring him in to be a situational pass rusher, you also need to go and either sign another veteran or you need to get a couple of guys in the draft because Justin Houston alone is not going to get anything done.
Well, yeah, and then go down that rabbit hole. Sign Justin Houston, then we have to go get another person. So who do you want to get next? You want to get Melvin Ingram? Okay, and these guys aren't coming for the vet minimum. You got to pay them a little bit of money. So now you're spending money on what you didn't want to spend. You're doing what you didn't want to do on offense. You didn't want to spend a lot of money on 1-year rentals. Justin Houston would be a 1-year rental. Melvin Ingram would be a 1-year rental, right? So now you're spending money at these positions for guys that you're hoping can stay healthy and aren't falling off a cliff, right? We already told you that Justin Houston's numbers are declining. He's older, right? Melvin Ingram hasn't been healthy since
That's it. That's the end of the sentence.
since like 2015,
That,
right?
that's the problem with the guys who are left, and the problem with just again the thing that Baltimore does constantly, which is, they act like, oh, we're just being patient. What they're really doing is just waiting around and letting other teams make the decisions for them.
Yeah.
They wait around, they wait around, they wait around. All the other edge rushers are gone, and like, okay, we'll pick from Houston, Ingram, and Clowney. None of those options are appealing.
No. So
Ingram and Clowney can't stay healthy. Justin Houston isn't the same player he was. Even Ryan Kerrigan, he's another guy who's on the downside.
and I like Kerrigan too.
Mm-hmm.
But so here's the thing. Here's the thing. When we talk about drafting and developing players, right? It's always the burden is always on the offense, but our bread and butter is on defense. Like we're known for defense. Defense gets all the praise. Defensive coaches get all the praise. So if that's the case, you should be saying, no, we can go second or third round and get somebody that can play edge rusher. And honestly, I would feel more comfortable with their ability to do that because they've done it in the past.
Yeah.
So, but what they've never done is do that for wide receivers. So anytime I hear this talk of, oh, we can get this guy in the second round or third round, well, just set that pick on fire then, because he's not going to turn into anything. You already know that.
Yeah.
You already know that. You can draft defensive players later and develop some good quality players. So go that route.
And again, even going that route, at some point you're going to have to pay somebody. They got Zadarius Smith in the 4th. They got Judon, I believe, in the 5th, and they let them both walk.
Yeah, yeah.